You like? So, thought to myself, I'll make a video. So here I am, videoing the living daylights out of it. How are things with you? Good. It's been a lot's happened since my last video, in terms of our hobby. Games Workshop have really stepped up a notch, and White Dwarf is a lot better these days. There's so much hobby stuff on it, like the heavy metal master classes, the paint splatters, the conversion bits. I mean, the only thing they're missing is terrain. So yeah, I've got some of those and really enjoying them. So what have I been doing? Well, in terms of building, I've built some of these new Mark III Space Marines, and they're a lot chunkier, and they look really cool, and it's a nice kit. It goes together well. But personally, I prefer the other boxes of Space Marines because the accoutrements you get on these, because they're so much chunkier, they're difficult to jam in places. So I ain't so fussed about that. What else have I been doing? I went through my bits box, and I've decided to make my own sort of. I won't be able to use them in game, but use all my bits to make some cool Space Marines, the A-Team, Commandos, and I've got this guy with a combi flamer, and this guy with a combi plasma. And I am thoroughly going to look forward and enjoy painting those up like a bunch of badasses. What have I been doing? Should I talk about the terrain now or the painting? Let's talk about the painting. This is the second Dark Vengeance Terminator, and my word, I am taking my time over this. I mean, I've got the in there. I've got the bikers, the chaplain, and the tactical squad all painted up. And as soon as I've done these Terminators and the other two characters, like I'll have 50% of Dark Vengeance painted up. It's taken me long enough, but sometimes I think I get in my own way, when I'm painting, instead of just putting the paint on and to hell with the outcome. I think I get a bit too caught up on it must look absolutely right. And to be fair, this guy isn't finished, but to be fair, I don't do a bad job. What else? Dead Zone. Really enjoy that game. Can't play enough of it. And originally my enforcers are red, like red and black, to look like super commandos, but I kind of went off that. So I've gone for repainted. Well, I'm painting some new ones, and you can't see that, can you? Oh dear. Oh well. It's a more neutral sort of colour palette really. There's greys and greens and blacks. I'm really enjoying that. So, but I've got really story of my life. I've got so much to paint. And the only other painting thing I've done is this cultist. He's for the Execution Force board game. I really am trying to do that really well, but I'm quite happy with the skin in places. But can you see it? Of course you can't. There isn't anywhere near enough light there. But yeah, I went to the Warhammer Open Day on, was it the 6th of November? Yeah. And that was an interesting day out. Really busy though. I think I prefer Warhammer World when it's a tad quieter. But I spoke to some of the painters there, the heavy metal guys, and it was interesting talking to them. They were saying, like, if you're going to, well, when I was talking to them about my ideas, they were saying, pick a light source for the model, and then paint a mid-tone, then paint highlights, then paint shades, or was it shades and highlights? I don't know, but I'm trying that with him because under you can't see it. I'm trying to leave shade, leave the base coat there as a shade for where it would be, where the light wouldn't get to. I'm trying to take it away from gleaming sort of paint jobs like that. But what I also talked to them about was highlighting a sphere. And this is something I think that goes on in other art, or is a method of practice for other paintings, but like a ball bearing, a steel ball bearing, chromed, is how the light hits that and how you highlight it from that. And it's talking to them was helpful because it crystallized a few ideas, and basically it's the highlight hits travels directly from the source to the object, in this case the sphere, has that immediate point of saturation and then dissipates out, and that's when this heavy metal guy was saying paint a mid-tone, then paint your shades, then your highlights, and it's sort of like concentric circles of blended highlight that start out very intense and then dissipate. And I kind of want to put that into practice, whether I'm going to be doing it like thin layers and build up to the saturated highlight, or whether I'm going to try and work from the saturated highlight down. I don't know. But it's just something that's always struck me about Space Marines. How on earth do you highlight a curved surface? Because they teach you how to, higher edge highlight, just whoosh, those sharp edges. But Space Marines are a lot of rounded edges too. So how do you highlight them? Actually, there's a tutorial I saw online. I really must need that. Anyway, that was just the latest sort of epiphany that I've had. Oh, that makes me sound kind of arrogant, doesn't it? Oh. In other terms of painting, Space Marines. Now, I didn't really used to think Space Marines were kind of cool, but now that I'm kind of warming up to them, especially with the idea of making your own legion or making your own chapter, and that's what I've kind of wanted to do. So I got the new paint set, the new starter paint set it gives you 3 Space Marines and a load of paints. And actually, what's really interesting is the Space Marines you get in that paint set are bigger than normal Space Marines. They are. Well, it should be. Oh, hell's bells. There isn't actually a lot in it between those two, but I was comparing this one with some of the other ones, and there's a marked difference there. Marked a difference. Don't know if you can make it out, but and yeah, so I got that, and I thought I'll use these as test models. So far I've painted 2. This is, oh well, you can't actually see that, can you? Oh dear. I will describe it to you. It's a very vibrant green. Helmet is red and white, the white being a stripe going all the way through. This is more a camo green, really, more an olive drab with black legs, just black thigh things. And they're the 2 designs I'm thinking of, although the olive drab sort of Marines are the ones I'm leaning towards. I think these ones are a bit too girlish. Um, you know. So I've been doing that. What else? Oh yeah, something I have had in the back of my mind is I'm really enjoying the Lord of the Rings, but and Archers. You know, really big fan of that. But the thing is, and this is anyone who collected fantasy will attest to this, is Archers never seem to be holding an arrow. See, he's got a bow, but no arrow. Now, I assume in practical terms, it's because arrows are a bugger to sculpt and a bugger to cast. I assume. But I've been thinking, it's like, because it's just one of those things that just annoys me. It shouldn't do. I mean, any reasonable person would just be like, paint the model, enjoy it, get on with life. But clearly, I'm not a reasonable person. And I've been thinking how to, especially with this model, how to make an arrow and how to stick it on there so it looks reasonable. Because if I put an arrow on this model, it's going to obscure most of the face. Yeah, so if any of you have any suggestions on that, I'll be interested to hear. Speaking of suggestions and Lord of the Rings, on occasion I do like to make terrain, nothing special, but I bought these to make Woodland Ave. It's two pieces. You glue them together, baseboard, slots. Got them off eBay, and the idea is you've got the bases, so you can slot them in, take them out, and I'm going to stick trees on the bases. My plan is to chamfer all the way around the sides, put the trees on the bases, and then I'm not sure. So your opinions. Do I put sand all over it, like PVA glue, sand all over it, and then paint it brown, then blob a load of flock on there? Or do I just put sand in like certain areas? Can you see? Ah, you can't. There and like there, to sort of give the impression of some kind of path, or to just break it up a little bit. Then paint it all brown and flock everywhere that isn't that isn't sanded, and then just have the brown sand looking like mud sticking out. Or do I just flock the whole thing, paint it brown, dump a load of flock on it, and just be done with it? I'm not entirely sure. And the thing is, this system for taking the trees out, it's good. The problem with it is that when you're flocking the actual bases for the trees that are going to go in there, I'm going to have to be careful, because as you know, circles can be rotated. So if I make a specific pattern in the flocking, it's not going to match up from here to the base if it's not put in the right way. So that's something to consider. And yeah, I'm not entirely sure really, but oh well, I'm sure I'll figure something out. But yeah, if you do have any ideas on that, it'd be appreciated. So, almost done now. I've almost got to the end of my nonsense. I know you didn't think it would happen, did you? I didn't think it would happen, but oh well. It seems that it has. There will always be more nonsense. Always be more. Speaking of nonsense, what I've been doing lately is buying things like this. Now, the the informed among you, those in the know, will know that this is actually a source book for the Lord of the Rings game, but it's out of date. It's out of print, out of date, and doesn't apply. And I've been getting them mainly because there is loads of like really cool lore in it. I mean, look at that map. It looks really cool, doesn't it? And it's really detailed. And there's really cool art in it, like that. Actually, maybe I shouldn't be showing this off. Maybe Games Workshop are going to come after me. And the other thing about these, which makes them a little bit of a treasure, is that they have all these scenarios in. I mean, they have hobby sections in them. I know, James is going on about hobby sections again. But building an orc siege tower. There you go. In a source book, how to build an orc siege tower out of foam core, glue, and a few other bits. So from that sort of perspective, like these books are really still have a lot to offer, you know. There's building a castle gate here. Really cool to look at. And I mean, I found the ruins of Arnor. Got that one as well. And again, more really cool pictures, fluff. Another really cool map. It looks slightly more detailed than the one you usually see. What does this have in it? Loads of rules, more pictures. Don't mind me. I'm, just getting engrossed in a book. More scenarios. I thought this had some hobby in it as well. Like some terrain making or some painting. Oh, it does have painting in it. Yeah. Yeah, it has how to paint hobbits, how to paint some orcs. So yeah, it does. Which is really nice though, right? Because I've got a load of old 40,000 books and I keep them mainly for the art, and I mean it's good when you can get when books like that don't lose their value. I mean, Hellspells, I've bought an old Lord of the Rings rule book, and that's got painting in it, got models in it, got terrain in it. It's got nice ideas for rules, although that could be carried over if you wanted, about terrain generation and stuff. Really nice ideas. Anyway, yeah, that's it. Here we are. I have no more nonsense. Well, not for the time being, anyway. There'll always be more nonsense. But I guess, yeah. If you've got any ideas about making arrows, which Space Marine paint job I should go for, about making terrain. Actually, yeah, if any of you got any ideas about making rivers, that would be really interesting, because having a good set of like interlocking modular, that's the word, modular river parts would be really cool, but it seems like it would be kind of tricky to make it so that any section can marry up perfectly with any other section. So yeah. Anyway, if you have anything like that, I'd be interested to hear. Other than that, I don't know. Look after yourself, maybe.